Hello. So, this is my first time reviewing a book on YouTube, so please go easy on me. I run a book blog called thePagesPrinted.com. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter, and mainly tweet about books and Instagram pictures of books. I like books. So if you want to interact with me, I will stick the links down below. First book, and I'm going to be starting with a book called The Vast Fields of Ordinary by Nick Burd. And I will put a link to it down below in case you're so inspired by my video you want to run out and grab it. So it was written back in 2009. You can't really tell. There's a few there's one reference to technology on mobile phones that made me realise that this was written a few years ago. It's not a big deal. The story is very universal and you'll kind of get used to it. So, what's it about? Well, it's Dade's last summer at home in a suburban wasteland and things are pretty hopeless. He has a crappy job, he has a boyfriend, in inverted commas, who treats him like dirt, and his parents' marriage is falling apart. So when he meets a mysterious Alex Kincaid, Dade feels as if he's finally experiencing true happiness. But real love has consequences, and its power soon sets in motion a tragic chain of events that'll change Dade's life forever. So far, so pretty standard young adult romance, apart from the fact that it's about a gay kid, which for me is actually kind of important. I'm not someone who can call themselves a young adult anymore. I'm pushing 30. But it does kind of amaze me how much young adult books have taken off in the last few years. I'm sure stuff like this was being written when I was a teenager, but it wasn't readily available. You couldn't go on Instagram or Twitter or Reddit or anything like that to kind of get recommendations and find out where to get this stuff, because as hard as it may be to believe, they didn't exist back then. So, as a matter of fact, I actually bought this after an Instagram recommendation, and I'm grateful I did. Nick Burd, the author, has quite a close grip on the characters. Various people pop up throughout the book who I think in sort of books that are written a lot worse, they would fulfill a kind of stock character roles. You've got the sort of sarky, snarky, sarcastic cool girl. You've got the popular high school bitch. You've got a closeted jock. You've got the local drug dealer, that kind of thing. But he really imbues them with life and distinct characteristics, and they leap off the page, meaning you gain an immediate attachment to them. As a lead character, Dade is sympathetic, and he's compelling, but he's not particularly distinctive, which I think is a clever choice, because as a reader, you kind of put yourself onto him. Certainly for me, who was a teenager, going on over 10 years ago now, in a little town in the north of England, I put myself so much onto him that whilst I was reading it, I kind of felt like, a closeted American high school teenager. None of those things I am, so, clearly he's a skilled writer. The plot is funny and it's tender. It does come to a very sudden and quite surprising conclusion. I've yet to decide if I actually like the ending all that much. It's written well, but, and I will try my best not to spoil anything, I felt it follows a bit of a trope that I've seen happen a bit too much in gay literature. However, it does read well, and it can't be denied that I'm a bit of a sucker for a happy ending, so maybe I'm biased. That aside, I did love this book. I read it last night in one go, tucked up in bed with a cup of tea, actually. And it's great. It's not a long read, it's a quick read, and I devoured it in about 2 hours. I wish it had been around when I was a teenager. I think all of us, whether kind of LGBT or not, went through tough times as a kid, and Dade's struggles are pretty much universal. Parents, school, figuring out what to do for college. A lot of us, if not all of us, have been there. Age range for this, I would say about 15 and up. There's some drugs, although nothing hard, and there's some sex, although it's not particularly explicit. It's one of those young adult books that is written so well, to be honest, as most of them are these days, and I would recommend it for adults as well, especially if you're kind of from the LGBT community. It may strike a chord with you. I know it certainly did with me. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5, I think. It's wonderfully written and it has great characters, but I am still undecided on the ending, and I feel like I could have done with a little more time spent on wrapping things up. Although, who knows, maybe the author wanted to leave things a bit like life often is for teenagers, kind of messy, scary, unpredictable, and complicated. So that's it for now. I'm going to try and do one of these a few times a week if anyone wants to watch. If not, it'll just be me talking to myself, which is absolutely fine. Or talking to my cat, who is currently trying to pull the lamp off the table. Hang on, I'll bring him up here to say hello. Come here. Yeah, so if you watch, you'll get to see Baxter too, and he is very pretty. Anyway, bye for now.